You're listening to The Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play role-playing games on the internet for your amusement. This is Gamma World Part 10, Unreliable Jetpack.
Whiting, this would be a great time for somebody to do something super heroic.
Oh man, I wonder who that could be to do that. Okay, well, I have thoughts, I have feelings, I have an idea.
Yeah, Bobobob, I am going to say that unfortunately, because you fell into the laser mesh and you're in trouble there, keep track, you take 8 additional damage.
Okay.
If you get to negative your bloodied value, you are unfortunately no more for this world.
Dead.
Okay.
Which can happen.
I'm very close, friends.
Yeah.
All right. Tony.
Hi.
Tony.
Tell me more about how these lasers are emanating from the walls.
There are a bunch of little kind of like globe-like things mounted in the sides of the wall and in the ceilings, and maybe even a few in the floor, that are kind of rotating and shooting bursts of lasers that are sweeping back and forth all over the middle of the room, including part of the room that includes your friend Bobobob Joe. So there's a lot of them, and they're moving and they're spitting out laser beams, creating a grid/mesh that sweeps over this area over and over again.
I don't know how literally you want us to take this map, but it looks like most of the lasers that are hitting Bobobob are coming from this area over here. Is that fair to say?
I'm going to say it's hard because they're moving back and forth. So
they're moving up.
They're sweeping back and forth to make it rather hard to get in and out. I would say that it would be, it would be extremely hard to target the lasers that are just the lasers that are hitting Bobobob.
I think the control panel is probably I don't know if you have any grenades or anything, but
well, I mean that could also make it so the laser mesh could never be turned off. So anything could happen.
I have nothing ranged, which is my other problem. So I'm gonna, at the very least, I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone by coming on over here.
Double check your gear section. Just make sure that there's nothing in there. And
the only things I have like an electro belt that needs to be that is like a melee attack. I have 2 I have a mask. I have something else.
I don't mean the Omega Tech. I mean your actual gear section on your character sheet.
Yeah. Do you have a gun or?
Sometimes there are random things in there like a Bowie knife you could throw or an assault rifle you could shoot, which is
I have a Louisville Slugger. I could.
I have a handgun, but that's not going to be as helpful as. All right.
Probably not.
Do you have ammo?
I'm going to do the thing. I may. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to activate my alpha mutation. Tony, tell me if this works, because I really want it to work.
Okay.
My alpha mutation is force field generation. As a minor action, I can create a area wall. 12. I can create a 12 square long wall. Invisible force field. What I would like to do is twofold. I'm standing here. I'm waiting. Hi, you can see me. I'm going to create this wall from here. From here to here. To at the very least.
I didn't see. Where was the other side of it?
Right next to Robobutt B.
Gotcha.
So I can, at the very least, have the number of lasers in the middle of the room and hopefully decrease Bob's damage, while also cornering Robobutt B into like a little 3 square thing that he can't get out of.
Now, I will tell you, you can actually build, let's see, I think your wall can like kind of zigzag. I think you could build a wall around Bobobob if you wanted.
Ooh. Oh, I like that idea. Yes.
And I don't think it's a wall within 10 of you, so it does not have to be right next to you if you don't want to.
Yeah. It's within 10, but I wanted it to be close enough that I could get this. So if that's, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's 8 squares there around Bobobob.
That is a very good mutation to have in this situation.
It really is.
Amazing.
They might as well have called it "Save your friend from a grid of lasers they fell into."
Yeah. Also, the
You
teleportation.
kept saying it was random, so I thought
Yeah,
that
that
you were like, "Oh no,
teleportation's
I'm
awesome.
giving Brian the
No,
the
they're
laser
random.
wall."
They are random. I literally didn't look at them ahead of time.
That's
Like
amazing.
the teleportation, because I was like, how are we going to disable these? Who's going to get to the panel to turn the lasers off? Like, how are we going to do that? And then E84 gets.
Yep. Boop.
No, yep. Here we go. I'm going to. My wall is going to go from.
Micah, do you
Here?
want to tell us about your backup character while Brian is figuring out walls?
No,
No,
that
okay.
would jinx it.
All
That would
right.
jinx it.
So where's your wall going?
I wish I could like draw on this map, but I would like to make
can.
basically
You can.
a. Oh, I can. All
Yeah, when you
right.
click the little
Paintbrush
paintbrush.
tool.
No way.
There's
All
a,
right.
there's a
and you can
polygon.
make
Do you
either
guys have a
square or
polygon slash
line, or
line
just do
option
it
under?
free.
Yes,
Freehand, but-
do that one and not the freehand. Oh God,
All
he's
right,
doing the
it's pretty
freehand.
All right. I would like my wall to go around here.
I can't see it. Can you guys see it? Oh wait. Oh, there
Yep.
it is.
Oh, there it
I
goes.
see it now.
So I'd like to make a U that kind of that wraps around Bobobob, but is open on one end, so he can climb all the way back up here, and maybe I could get down to him.
Yes. Whiting, can you tell us a little bit about what that's going to look like? You can totally do that, but just paint us a picture of what our vampire cat does in this situation.
All right, so I run in. I'm waiting patiently for my mission initiative to kick in. I see E84 disappear and be replaced by a dead robot, and I'm very, very confused and concerned. But I run in.
And the
I
explosion.
see Bob. And an explosion, yes. I hear explosions. I see Bobobob lying in the middle of the room, kind of like electrocuting and like not doing well. So I think, I need to save my friend. Let me look inside my heart. Oh, look, I have this cool new card. And I'm going to cast a wall by going and kind of like tracing it around where I want to go with my mind.
Cool.
Bobobob, I'm watching it as it's like cutting off the lasers around him. And I can see like a fried little body in the middle of the thing, and I'm very, very sad.
The white hair is all singed.
So I do that. I start from, okay, I'm going to turn off paint mode.
Oh my God.
So
Carlos
I'm
is going
over
to shoot
here.
me.
I believe
no,
the force field protects you from everything.
The force field, yeah, let me read the thing again. But,
I think it only
blocks
lasts
all
for a
movement
turn.
and line of effect.
Yeah, so you were like protected by a shimmering force field.
I would next like to run down next to Bobobob. Can I heal at all? Any sort of... I don't have any special effects, but is there any standard sort of like CPR I could do?
I think. Do you have? Is there a heal skill in Gamma World?
There isn't.
No,
I think
you said
we've
there's
been
no
doing
healing in
science.
Gamma World.
I think you can do
Nature,
science. Where
When
is
we
the?
first started playing, you told us that there was no healing in Gamma
I say a
World,
lot
and
of
that's why
things, Micah.
characters would
So
die. Look, I definitely don't want Bobobob to die. I just don't want to be accused of breaking the rules or whatever.
you can
Too much.
stabilize a dying character by using the science skill. The stabilized
Yay!
character is still unconscious, but does not have to make death saving throws.
Bobobob, prepare to be scienced.
Can a stabilized character use their second wind or no?
No.
I think you have to be conscious.
Only
to
if they're
use,
healed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's a 15 science.
All right. You stabilize Bobobob. Bobobob, you are basically at 0 hit points.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Whiting. You are a hero.
I take out my Teddy Ruxpin.
But you are
and
still
give it to
unconscious,
you.
so somebody is going to need to heal you. And especially the other thing is, you're still in a laser grid. There is a force field protecting you for a turn.
Yeah.
So-
So it basically until Whiting comes around, that's it again.
Yeah.
Is that the? Okay, gotcha.
So, all right.
I yell, you can barely hear me, E84, but I hope you can read my lips. This would be a great time for E84 to shut down the thing.
or just
I can still hear you on Mind Skype, so we're good.
You'll have a...
Or maybe
you
I
can
can't
hear-
because Bobobob is unconscious.
I think that unconscious people are aware of what's happening around them. I think.
True.
I
But are
think
they
that would-
If Tony
a
could
Skype
leave
call?
the
Have
real
they
Skype
upgraded-
call earlier.
It
Yes.
depends whether they've
I
upgraded
think
Skype
so.
or not. So,
Yeah, we
They
have the
redesigned
latest
Skype
version.
for us. How nice of them.
a new
geez,
product
it's
by
improved our experience.
Microsoft.
Oh, I hate it, but I love it.
I take out Teddy Ruxpin and tuck it in your unconscious arm.
All right.
Oh, that's adorable.
All right.
Right next to the dump
E84.
truck.
You are clinging to a platform on a slope. There's a laser grid behind you. Also, all of your friends are on the other side of a laser grid. There's a surly-looking rabbit with a menacing sniper rifle. You're up close now enough. You can see his fur has kind of a purple tinge to it. He's got a rather impressive kind of skull and crossbones tattoo on his bicep. It says, hair today, gone tomorrow, Hare.
Oh, my God.
And, yeah.
And there's a floating orange high floating nearby.
Yeah. Hello.
Map jokes for the listeners. So,
Well, now that I am standing here on this slope, how difficult do I feel like it would be for my android body to move one square down toward Carlos the Hoop and the control panel?
I'm going to make you do some acrobatics check for every square of movement you're doing on the slope.
Yeah.
Dios mío.
I'm just wondering, like, how difficult do I feel like that is standing here? Like, it's...
What's your acrobatics modifier?
My acrobatics is not good. It's only a +2.
Pretty
I'm
difficult.
concerned.
So
Yeah.
not
Okay.
impossible, but challenging. Yeah.
Could it be a science because she's a robot?
Yeah, she's gonna bust out a protractor and use that to defeat
I
acrobatics.
totally could. I have
Do
one
the
right in my
math?
arm.
How
Louisa,
much force do
You
I
were
need
able to totally figure out what you have to do.
Physics.
The question is, will your acrobatics ability allow you to do what you need to do? But you
Yeah.
know
Like a
with
good
precision
cheese.
what is required. But will
Okay,
your
wait, so
will your
since we're in
servos comply?
Since we're in 4th edition, what are the movement rules in terms of moving around an opponent? I can't remember what provokes an attack.
Moving out of a square that an opponent is adjacent to would provoke.
Oh, okay. So I could still like move around him, and that would be okay because I'm just coming into range and not if I don't leave his range.
Going from that square to that square would provoke, unless you're shifting.
Oh, okay. So I can't move around him because every single movement around him would possibly provoke. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move to here.
All right. You're going to clamber up the slope onto the level platform.
Yep.
Why don't
And that
you
does
do?
not provoke.
Yeah, that does not provoke. I think you're going to need to do an acrobatics check. Acrobatics or athletics, whichever you're better at, to get off the slope, though.
That would be acrobatics.
All right.
My 2 in acrobatics is better. Let's see. That's a 9.
That is what you needed.
Oh, good. Oh,
So you are off of the slope. Your feet are now firmly planted on a nice level platform. A robot with a giant, or sorry, not a robot, a rabbit with a giant sniper rifle turns to look at you.
Okay, okay.
His
Now I
ears
didn't
are
want to.
majestic.
I did not want to stop there. I would like to brave the chance of an opportunity attack to actually continue moving around him to here, hoping that he only has one opportunity attack, and if not, well, we'll find out what happens.
Most creatures only are allowed to do one unless they have something
Yeah.
very special going for them.
So that's my goal.
So
is to
I
get here.
think that he is going to try and shoot at you, but I don't think it's going to be.
He's at point blank range.
He's going to
man.
do it at point blank range. I'm going to give him a penalty to that.
Does that mean that he provokes?
He can't
an
provoke.
opportunity?
No, that's not how that
Okay.
works. So he rolled a critical fail, and the bullet totally whizzes over your head. So you ran up to a
Nice.
sniper and then basically like skirted around him, and he's like trying to maneuver, but his big rifle is not built for shooting robots at close range.
Okay.
So you totally
That's-
get past him.
That's good. You know what I should have done before that, which I'm going to do now, and that is use one of my pieces of Omega Tech, which I guess it doesn't matter because he didn't hit me, but I'm going to use my Area 52 energized armor. It's a minor action to activate that, and it establishes a force shield around me, so I kind of like tap my chest and just like boom,
Sweet.
a force shield pops up, kind of glowing and shimmering. It's
Come
invisible-ish.
at me.
It's
Invisible
really
edge.
And,
cool, isn't it?
Yep. So while that shield is functional, I gain resist 10 to all damage.
Oh.
But every time I take damage, I have to roll a d20 to see if the effect ends, which it does on a 9 or less. So I have a little force shield in place here, and now I'm also standing right next to the control panel thing. Can I sort of reach it from here?
You can reach it from there. Carlos does not like that, but he's already fired once. Now, I will tell you, just with a quick survey of this control panel, because you're pretty accomplished at science, I'm just going to tell
I've
you.
been looking at the science, all of the technology in this place, and I've manipulated an awful lot of control panels here already.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be too hard for you to do this, but it will be time consuming. E84, you would need to make 3 successful DC 13 science checks, which is pretty easy for you to do because you have plus 11,
I actually
right?
can't fail that.
Yeah, but you need to do 3 of them, and each one's a standard action.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Well,
So that's going to take you some time.
All right. I will.
So you get that just from glancing at it. You're like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff I have to do, and I have to like turn this off, and I have to turn that off. There's not just like a big shut it all down button.
Do you have
Gotcha.
a gun you can fire at it?
That would make it harder to operate the console.
But could
All right.
it?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my standard action, which I have not used yet, to make the first check. Then I am going to activate my Flash Neurojack Omega Tech, which gives me an extra standard action this turn. It also gives me a +1 bonus to speed, but I'm not going anywhere.
Yep.
So we can say that I have made 2 of the 3. I don't have another thing because that's an encounter power.
You guys are burning through all your powers. I love it.
Yeah.
So, because, I mean, you started your turn on the edge of a pit, falling into a laser grid. You climbed up, you vaulted past a rabbit sniper, and then started turning down the switch. So this is some pretty heroic action so far from the entire team. Also, Bobobob, who has heroically not died yet.
Yet. Yep.
All right, E84, big turn. Is that cover everything you can do?
I have moved. I have minored. I have double standarded. Do we don't have like action points or inspiration in this game, do we?
I do
That
not
I'm just
think so.
forgetting about.
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Then yeah, that's all the things that I can do. And
All
then
right.
some.
Carlos and growls at you. He slings his giant sniper rifle over his shoulder onto his back, and he pulls out an axe. It's a little kind of hand axe hatchet, and he is going to swing at you. He says, "Vaya con Dios, you wretched robot." E84. 9 versus AC. Carlos is a sharpshooter, not an axer.
Wielder?
Yeah.
Murderer.
Yeah.
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 Murderer.
So
That is pathetic.
Carlos growls, "Stupid
Aw.
robot." And then Carlos backflips across the room away from you using his
Wow.
special hop attack. It's not an attack. He's moving. This does not provoke opportunity attacks. But he wants to get clear in case a robot shoots a rocket at you, E84.
Okay.
Clever Carlos.
Yeah. Atifa, acrobatics check at the start of your turn.
Wait, is that an 18 or 19?
Many.
That's 22.
All right, you're fine.
Yay!
You were at home on the slope.
The slope is my home.
I have some questions.
I figured you do. You are on a slope leading into a giant laser mesh. There's a force field that one of your friends has created that may be inconvenient for you. One of your friends is slowly dying in a shielded laser mesh. And you've been friends with a vampire cat for like most of a day now. So yeah, I can see how you could have some questions.
It's pretty confusing. So I know that you have described the lasers in detail. I just have one question to make sure that I heard and am remembering correctly, which is you did say they're coming from the ceiling as well as the sides?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next question. Have either Carlos or Rocketbot B been hit and damaged yet?
I believe Rocketbot B has. I believe
Okay.
Carlos has
Carlos.
not. I will tell you
Okay.
also, I think your ability to interact with Rocketbot B is heavily compromised by a force field that a certain vampire cat created in front of you. Because
Yeah, that was my third.
Because
my third question.
How many squares is that force field? I just want to know exactly
It's
how
like
representative that is.
I think Brian drew it kind of through the middle of the squares when it's probably the outside of the squares.
Yes, it would be like
10
those
squares?
squares are full of force field.
Yes.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Whiting basically built like a little protective force field igloo for Whiting and Bobobob, which is great
It's very
in terms
sweet.
of Bobobob probably would have died otherwise. But you'll notice
That's true.
pretty much any line that
Atifa
you
can't get
draw
in.
between Atifa and Rocketbot B is blocked by your little force field igloo, right?
Does it matter that that I do psychic damage and not physical damage?
I think you literally can't see Rocketbot B because of the force
Okay.
field.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and if you can't see it, you can't kill it.
Good news. Good news. All right. Well,
I think
I have.
you've a clear
yeah.
line
No, it's an invisible wall of force. You could see through it.
But it blocks line of effect, right?
Line of effect, but it's psychic.
That's attacks. That's
That's still effect.
That's attacks. Yeah, that's a
I
kind.
mean, sure, she can see it, but she can't have any effect
Yeah.
on it.
So
not touching you.
Carlos
I'm
has
not
no
touching
such things protecting him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. So I have an unreliable jetpack.
Oh God!
So
Of course you do.
I gain
And
fly
this-
speed.
And this
equal
is the
to
time
my
to use
speed.
it. Okay.
Yep. Equal to my speed
Now
until
I
the
will
end of my
tell
next
you.
turn.
This is wow. How long did you guys just get these things, or were these things you've been
No,
hoarding forever?
I've had this for.
I will tell you that using an unreliable jetpack in a room that has a sloped trap sounds great. I don't know where you're trying to go. You could theoretically try and jetpack through a laser mesh, but things might happen. So
That's why I was asking if it was coming from the ceiling. Is
It is.
because,
He did say that.
Yeah.
But you could jetpack around the force field and get into where you could heal Bobobob.
you could also try jetpacking through that laser grid. That would be a way to die, right?
I don't have any healing. Anything.
Atifa died as she lived, jetpacking through a laser grid.
It's true. That's going.
Which
on
one
my
of us does
gravestone.
have healing, or do none of us have healing?
I don't think any of us have healing.
Does anyone? I know you've in the past had some Omega techs,
I used to have an Omega tech that would work.
but no one's got anything right now.
Nope.
So your goal may simply be that you got to protect Bobobob until you take out the
Yep.
threats.
Or move
That's what
him
I'm
out of
thinking.
this, out
Yeah,
of the laser
Yeah, if
field
there's
if
some
there's
way
a
to
way to do
move
that.
me.
Yeah, Whiting
I'd
could
be
drag
so
you.
happy.
It's still tricky. In
Wait,
that
I'm sorry. I reread the force field again until the end of my next turn. I still have a turn in the igloo with Bobobob.
you do.
Yep. So you
Right.
can try to drag him out on your next turn, but it will take some.
I will also tell you
hard.
that a vampire cat dragging a mudslide out of a pit is like a really tempting target for a rocket bot. I'm just like that's an old country saying where I'm from. Vampire cat like that you don't eat all at once. So
Wow.
Reference
All right.
acknowledged.
yeah.
I'm going to activate my jetpack, and I'm just going to go up here so that I'm on some stable ground.
All right.
And I should be protected from Rocket Bot B.
Yep. There's still
because of the force field.
I
Awesome.
agree.
All right, so I am going to, and again, I have my alpha mutation, which I need to pull up to just double check. So because I got the overcharge, I can use it again. Now, the card says you can use this power a second time on your next turn while this card is readied. Does that mean that this is going to go away after this turn?
I think you can roll a d20 to try and keep it if you want. I think you can keep overcharging it.
Okay.
Is my interpretation.
So if I roll and succeed, or if I were to roll and fail now, I love the rule setup part of the game. If I were to roll and fail now, would I would still get my turn, right? It was just that it would
At the
go
end
away
of
at
your
the end of my turn. Okay.
Yeah, and
All right.
you would be stunned at your next turn.
Right.
Stunning.
Okay, I rolled a 12, so
All
I get
right.
to keep it.
Yeah, keep rolling dice. What could go wrong?
All right, so I
feel like if the DM tells you that, there's something afoot.
What could go wrong? A lot of things.
Always
A
bet
lot of
on.
things.
Always bet on red. So
Okay, so I am targeting at Carlos because he's literally at the edge of my range. Oh,
Carlos on the edge of forever.
Oh no.
That's
no.
11, 12, 13 versus fortitude.
Carlos's 13 is a little better than that, as he is a battle-hardened wasteland mutant rabbit.
Okay.
So he
well,
shakes
since I
it
get
off.
my second standard action, I'm
gonna do it again?
Try it again.
All right.
Better?
14.
That's better.
Carlos kind of brushes his hand. It would be brushing his hand through his long hair, but it's his floppy ears, and he kind of shakes them and says,
Isn't it?
"Not today,
mental image.
creature. Not today."
I am so on Team Carlos.
All right.
Carlos is the sexiest rabbit sniper any of you have ever been killed by. So,
It's the tattoos
Is it
and
weird
the
to have a
purple hair.
crush on your attacker? Like, I'm having complicated
It's like
feelings.
it's not quite Stockholm syndrome. I don't know. Is it? Like, it's Helsinki syndrome.
sock hoop syndrome.
Helsinki syndrome. I love it.
So I think that's your turn, right?
I think that's my turn. Hang on one sec. Fly speed equals.
Does anybody have any
Yeah.
rope?
Classic role playing.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Bob. I unfortunately think you don't get much of a turn, but that's the bad news. The good news is you're not dying. You don't need to make any death saving throws.
You're welcome.
But you are prone in a little force field igloo underneath. The force field's probably being lit up constantly by the laser mesh that would be like to be
It's so
sweeping through your
pretty.
brain. But you're there. So I think that's your turn.
Wait. Okay, so I'm still running Mind Skype, and because we're telepathically linked,
And you can do this while unconscious, you think?
I think this, because I'm
Okay.
not going to... What I'm about to do is not that big of a deal,
Go
I
for
promise. What I have to... Hold on, just give me 1 second here, because I have to find
He's just
this.
like making truck noises in his subconscious.
This is where Bobobob takes his last psychic action is to tell you about his cousin that you're about to meet. Who's
Exactly.
a very similar character.
If I die, call... Wait, I forgot what I named the creature. I had a great name for it and everything.
Cole, insert name here.
Insert name.
Yes, the very best last words. If I die, hold on, I wrote this down.
I've rehearsed this.
Guys, this is
It's almost Shakespearean.
Listeners, this is a lesson. You should always rehearse your last words because you don't want to botch that. Like, you
don't.
True.
Take some time today. Make sure that you've got a will. Make sure that you've rehearsed your last words, and always wear sunscreen.
Always wear sunscreen. Oh,
I've got
man.
mine
lasers.
memorized.
I had such a good name for that character. If the character has to come around, all right,
Micah,
that's
you
all I did.
you literally don't get any actions on your turn. Take whatever time you need to find that character name. This is worth it.
Oh man, maybe I'll just have to come up with a new one because I sent it to you in the chat, and obviously that's gone now.
I was going to say I can only scroll back as far as you can. I think.
No.
So,
But it looks like Gary the snail, except without a shell. Because it's a doppelganger ectoplasmic. So I guess I'm going to have to give it a new name.
I will tell you, Micah, we may be able to introduce that character very quickly. You can decide whether he is familiar with...
There we go.
He may or may not know Bob. So it's up to
So
you.
pretend all I did was the vehicle noises.
Okay.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
Could you, Micah, just because we might not get to hear very many of them in the future, could you do a little vehicle noise for us right now so we
Yeah.
know what it sounds
Yeah.
like? All
It's very
right.
wary, otherwise it would sound a lot better.
The Titanic music starts playing and Whiting starts crying.
Whiting, there is space on that desk. You can...
Oh my gosh.
All right, Rocketbot turn. Rocketbot is scanning the battlefield for enemies, and it looks like the most tempting target is E84, because it would love to blast E84 off of that platform so that E84 can never save the day by deactivating the laser mesh. Let's see. Rocketbot. This target's reflex E84.
Oh no,
10 versus reflex.
that's not enough.
I will tell you.
Not enough to hit this bot.
The rocket whizzes past you. The rocket bot activates his machine accuracy. The rocket makes some beeping noises
Uh-oh.
and turns around and comes back for you. 15 versus reflex.
Still doesn't hit.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You are not thrown.
Wow.
It explodes near you, and you're going to take some damage, but you are
Okay.
not. You're not knocked off the platform, which is critical.
Okay.
You are going to take 7 damage for being 7 fire damage for being near an explosion as the rocket hits the side of the chamber, splashing you with some fire and explosive bits.
Well, I still don't like it, but that's much better than it could have been.
The rocket bot considers floating somewhere else in the chamber and decides to hold his position. All right.
Okay.
Whiting, how are things in that force field igloo?
It's really cozy. I've outfitted it with some IKEA furniture. You can see my posters on the wall. It's really, really great.
All right.
If y'all wanted to come by for dinner sometime, it's really, really wonderful. No. All right. So I have some
roll an
options.
acrobatics to not fall down the pit.
Aren't I already on the bottom?
It keeps going all the way
There's
to the
no
middle.
bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, there is no bottom.
Well,
All right.
there's the bottom is the exact middle of the room.
That's an 18.
All right. You have no trouble
Yay.
navigating
Okay.
the slope.
Trouble, trouble, trouble.
So Whiting, you could basically spend your turn pulling Bobobob up the ramp if you want.
I could. I also.
Could Bobobob unconsciously declare Whiting to be an enemy so that Whiting gets purchased in the mud to be able to climb up the hill more easily?
We are not
Erica,
friends.
what do you think the answer to that question is?
I'm going to guess the answer's no.
That you're pretty good at guessing.
I'm a good guesser.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. But that was a fun chat.
All right. Yeah.
Good
So
talk.
I have to do how many? 2 acrobatics checks to get myself out of there. But with Bobobob in tow, I'm sure I have to do more. Although
I'll let you do
you
too.
know,
I mean, you're going to
well-
spend your whole turn schlepping him out of the pit. So
exactly. But I have.
unless you got something else you're going to do.
If Bobobob is mud,
He's mud-like. He's mud-like.
So like.
I mean, do you have a pail? Is that good? Like a
Yeah, that's what I'm
or a
looking for.
bucket?
Like I have a punching bag I can hollow out really quickly.
I think that might take a little
Star
while.
Wars.
I have an umbrella. I can open it upside down and just fill the.
What is
Oh,
it
you're
made
trying
out
to
of?
put me
Adamantine?
into. I see.
Okay.
There's still, I
Um,
think the challenge is that Bobobob is a lot of mud. Is the problem, right?
I have a canoe.
Have you been dragging the
Pretty
canoe
sure we
with you
didn't
the
bring
whole
the
level?
canoe.
Yeah, the canoe is down here. I
The
feel-
table too.
I think you guys forgot about the table at some
You
point.
can put. Here's what you'll do.
Thank
You're
God.
gonna put-
Table.
You're gonna put.
All right. Yeah. I'm just gonna schlep Bobobob up and out.
No, you have to put a toy dump truck into my hand. Then you have to take that toy dump truck in my hand and toss it at E84. And then no, wait, no.
There's a
never mind.
laser
No, you're
grid
behind
between
a-
you and E84. That's a great way to kill a dump truck. Is
Oh no!
tossing it through
No,
a
it'll just
laser
bounce
grid.
off the force shield.
Yeah,
well,
that's
true. Yeah.
all right. So how should I do this? What rolls should I make?
Why don't you do 2 acrobatics checks to climb up the slope with Bobobob?
Excellent. All right. So
And you only need to beat a
got
9.
trying to pull you out, Bob. I got my arm around you. Got the dump truck right here, like in your arms. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like pushing it next to you. Like,
Yeah.
all right, hold
this
on.
This is the futures liberals want is a vampire cat carrying a mud blob, and the mud blob is carrying a dump truck. Yeah, I understand.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
That is a
Gender roles be
21 on
damned.
the first.
Yep.
21 on the first, so we move up 1, and then okay, God,
You can do
help me,
this.
God, help me. Oh yeah, that's a 20, non-natural.
All right.
Whoa!
I'm gonna say Whiting and Bobobob are climb up out of the horrible pit that slopes toward a laser grid, and are up on the platform. Bobobob
Whiting is down on their knees, like bellowing to the heavens. Ah, yes, I did it! I did it!
Bobobob is still prone and unconscious, and I think given your lack of healing technology, you're going to need to make sure he takes no more damage, and that you kill the enemies before. I think you're going to have to get out of combat to get him back up on his feet. Does that sound like the plan?
Is there anything I can do? I did 2 squares of move and acrobatics. Could I continue to drag Bobobob out of the room?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. So you're going to move
All right.
him. Yeah, we'll just.
I'm going to do that. Should I roll more acrobatics?
No,
or just-
we'll just allow you to do that. You've already rolled a lot on your turn, but that's basically you used your entire move and standard action to get him out of the pit and get you out of the pit.
What is your
all right,
movement
and then
speed?
If I make it out alive, Whiting is my best friend in all the universe.
Just because we know that Rocketbot B can fire into the doorway. So what is your speed, Whiting? Because I would recommend dragging Bob as far as you possibly can, based on your speed.
Yeah, I could do that. My speed is 7, so I can
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you can get like 3 squares out the door, which I would hope would be out of.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go back around this corner here.
Okay.
There's no corner there.
Well,
remember, it's just a hallway.
I thought this was a corner. Okay, yeah.
No.
Just a hallway.
All right. You have
you
dragged
can put Bob
like pretty far down the hallway.
There.
Excellent. And the camera can see through the door, out the room. Whiting pulls Bob out, and then there's a paw coming back in, snaps, and the force field is gone.
Okay.
Stylish as ever.
All right. E84.
I'm going to use my standard action to do that last science check to turn off the laser grid.
All of the lasers kind of flicker and pause in their sweeping back and forth movement, and then suddenly the room is a little bit dimmer as the laser grid bloops out of activation.
Sweet.
All right. Now
Carlos looks nonplussed.
All right. Let's see. So my Flash Neurojack only gave me an extra standard action during that previous turn, and I don't have any other minor actions. So I am going to use my move to move back toward the door, so I'm at least a little farther from.
Yeah. You see that there's a door in the hallway there, or in the room.
Is the door open?
Nope, it's
or is
closed.
it closed? Okay.
It does look like it's just got a standard, panel to open and
I'll leave
close
it closed.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
All right.
Come on over, guys.
Carlos, the sharpshooter, sneers at you again, loads another bullet into his high-powered scavenge sniper
Should have just
rifle.
walked up into his face.
You could have. That was an option.
I didn't, though.
And fires at E84. I believe we've established that 18 versus AC does not hit E84.
No, it does not.
It does not. All right, Atifa. There's no longer a laser grid blocking your path across the room if it matters.
Oh, it matters. It matters.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll.
I don't think Carlos, I don't think has been hit yet, right?
No.
Or no, it looks like he got mind pushed or something. And the rocket bot got hit by something. But they're both still pretty
Carlos
healthy.
took like 6 points of damage or
I think he took like 3.
3, that's what it was. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bob did that.
I remember Bob.
All right. Well, I still don't really trust myself not to fall to the bottom of the pit.
It doesn't matter, though.
So
Like, you're just at the bottom of a pit, right?
Oh, true.
That's true. I could just take one square of movement and just roll down.
Just slide it.
And-
Whee!
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. That's awesome.
You might, you might be prone to
I
take
can
some
use
damage,
the table.
but
Put the table on.
The table!
Use
Our
it as a
table!
sled.
Our invincible table.
you guys forgot about the table for an entire session, and I didn't remind you. Also,
No, we
I'm
didn't. We had it last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about the
I
table.
always
Why
remember
do you
the
hate
table.
our table? What is wrong with our table?
I am just concerned about the number of impractical objects that you are theoretically carrying about. Whiting just tried to sell me that he had a canoe this entire time.
Nope. There is a pile of mud that is humanoid. Come on.
We left our 50,000 draft horses. What do you want from us?
Pickup truck.
Your pickup truck with no gasoline, your 7 horses and 4
I
wagons.
left my 5 gallons of fuel with the truck.
Okay, this is getting a little Oregon Trail-y and I don't like it.
All right, so I'm gonna first thing I'm
Nobody
gonna do.
takes
I'm gonna
the banker. The banker is objectively the worst. All right, sorry.
I rolled to keep my omega or my alpha mutation. I got a 13, so
All
I
right.
get to keep my accelerated reflexes.
Go.
So I'm going to hit Carlos the hoop with fear manifested. Hopefully, one more time.
Ooh, fear.
I keep like incrementing by one. So how about
that a 15?
16 versus Will?
That will totally hit. I think you were targeting fortitude before also.
I think, I was reading Vitality Transfer and not Fear
I will
Manifesto.
tell you, his will is not as good as his fortitude. So he seems to be, he seems suddenly taken aback and is kind of pushing himself into the corner of this room as his deep, darkest fears chew at him. E84, you're close enough to hear him mumble under his breath, "The carrots, not the carrots again."
Oh, no. Carlos is taking 13 damage, psychic damage.
Carlos is bloodied.
Sweet. I'm going to hit him again, see what I can do.
All right.
Ooh, so that's 17, 23 versus Will.
Roll damage.
Not quite as good. That's 10 damage.
All right. Carlos looks like he's completely freaking out. His eyes are kind of spinning. His ears seem to be kind of like sticking up like
it's
antenna
Bugs Bunny
and like
in those old timey cartoons.
his ears are like antenna rotating to try and find a signal. He's kind of clawing at the walls a little bit.
If you surrender, there will be no more carrots.
So until the end of Carlos's next turn, he gives combat advantage.
Okay.
And he has a -2 to attack.
That makes sense because he's totally freaking out. Mm-hmm. All right. Bobobob, do you want to do any psychic hijinks on your turn?
What I was going to say before. If I die, call my cousin Tully Turpentine. Tully will help you out even better than I could have. You're all such wonderful people with beautiful lights shining inside of you. Don't let those lights fade.
Titanic music swells again.
Rocketbot A fires a rocket at at Whiting, which might hit Bobobob. So I'm going to say...
Bobobob should, just for the record, Bobobob should be one square farther. I guess they'd be right next to each other. But if Brian moved his entire move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he'd actually be one farther.
All right.
I didn't point it out at the time.
The rocket bot is going to have to float over here to be able to line up that shot down the long hallway. I'm going to say
it's up to Whiting if they wanted to go that far.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was the plan. Yeah.
Whiting, I'm going to give you cover because of the hallway that you're down.
Yay.
So this is versus reflex. 9 versus reflex.
Yeah, no.
All right, you drop to the floor next to Bobobob's unconscious body, and the rocket kind of whistles past both of you and explodes at the turn in the hallway. A bunch of that kind of cheap 70s wood paneling is torn up. Rocketbot frowns with its little diodes. Whiting, it's your turn. A Rocketbot just tried to kill you.
Again, I've got nothing ranged. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me see.
If you're hungry, you have an unconscious friend you could feed on. I didn't say that.
Some mud pie.
I'll give you a piece of Omega technology if you kill Bobobob.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Tony wants one of us to die so bad.
This game's supposed to be very hard.
Is it an actual option?
Yeah.
Is it an actual option to take
To feed on me? No.
to take one to take 1 square of move and kind of fall into the pit?
Is that what you want to do?
I'm considering it. So I have nothing ranged. I want to get as close as possible to Robobutt.
And you don't have enough space. He's too far away. Is that the challenge?
Too far away. Let me see. I can move 1, 2, 3, 4. My move is 7. So I can go 1, 2, 3. Is this like middle part here like flat, or does it not end
No,
at
it's
all?
all sloped.
It's just
Yeah.
like a
And it
V.
just starts sloping up.
Yeah.
Can I do acrobatics to do a cool backflip and end up over here somewhere?
You could totally do acrobatics to traverse the pit, but you can never move further than your move speed. So you're limited to however many squares you can go.
Okay, that's not worth it. I'm just
You
going to
can
hang out back
definitely
here
use
with
acrobatics
Bobobob.
to help you navigate what happens between those squares and you, and keep from sliding down that pit and falling on your tail. But,
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to try sciencing this door. And see if I can close it so that Bobobob is safe.
And you want to do that with yourself on that side of the door?
Is there a way I can do it on the other side?
Yeah, there's a matching terminal on the other side.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd like to do that then. I don't want to imply that I am trying to ditch my team, but I'm trying to save Bobobob. Will that be science?
Roll some science.
It's a 15.
I was going to ask for 13 or higher, so you do it. So the door is closed. So Bobobob has been evacuated from the room. The laser grid has been deactivated. And you didn't totally abandon your two friends, because I was going to say, at the very least, your presence in the room creates a target that has to spread some damage around. So.
Ooh, wait. Retcon. I bring Bobobob up here closer to the door. And as the door closes, I says, I'm going to keep an eye out on you.
All right.
The door closes.
That's fine.
That works for
E84.
me.
You are in the middle of the room. There's a Carlos that is kind of dazed in the corner, and Rocketbot B is kind of floating in the middle of the room above the slanty pit. I don't know what you want to
I'm
deal
kind of
with.
annoyed at myself for pointing out that Bobobob would have been farther away, because that made Rocketbot B float to a place where I can't reach him.
Well, I appreciate it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get to Rocketbot B. You would just have to be sliding down a pit. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Choices.
So if I was sliding down the pit, could I attack him as I slid by if I didn't make my acrobatics checks?
I would say if you fail your acrobatics check, you're going to be prone, and that would be you would do so at a penalty.
Okay.
Because you're falling down a pit. But you could try.
I just feel like Rocketbot B is it's kind of a worse threat at this point, since Carlos is not great at hitting me and has -2. But he is granting combat advantage. Is there anything around me that looks like does the control panel itself have controls for the rocket bots as well, or was that just for the lasers?
Just for the lasers. So far, the rocket bots tend to be kind of independent, free-floating, simplistic artificial intelligences.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have much for ranged either. But I'm worried that this rocket bot is going to hurt my friends. So I'll move to when I move to here, I have to make the acrobatics check.
Yep. You jump or roll or saunter off the ledge onto the slope.
Gingerly step.
You gingerly step onto a 45-degree slope.
And then I get a 14.
All right.
On my acrobatics check.
You balance yourself there as you're on the 45-degree slope with a floating robot that has its back to you.
And I try to machine grip that
All right.
sucker.
You machine grip a machine.
I tried it. It seems perfect. See, it's made for him.
I think it's not. That's not how that's. I think you're reading a lot into that.
Pretty sure it is.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure it is.
Well, you seem convinced. So who am I to judge?
Well, it looks like it is, because that is a 22 versus reflex.
All right, so that rocket bot is kind of buzzing around in its little square there, firing rockets in the direction of Bobobob, who it seems super intent on killing. And you reach out and just clamp onto the back of it and tear some stuff off the back of the floating robot. How much damage are we talking?
Right. We are talking about maximum damage, which is, let's see, what is our level now? It's 2, so that's 4 plus 14. And it is immobilized. Immobilized to the start of my next turn while I remain adjacent to it. So I'm basically holding on to this floating bot with my tight machine grip to make sure that I don't float, or that I don't slide any farther down into this pit, and to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere and get away from me.
All right.
It's like a fun balloon.
A bunch of parts of the rocket bot kind of fall off it and slide down the pit. But the rocket bot is still there, kind of like squirming, trying to get free of your machine grip. All right. Carlos, the hoop sharpshooter, is next. He kind of gets back, pulls himself out of the corner and out of the daze he's in. He loads another bullet into his scary-looking rifle, and he's really not even sure who to attack. today is not going the way he thought it was going to. But he seems resigned to his fate, and he lines up his gun with E-84's robot body, and he says, "From hell's heart I stab at thee," and he fires another rifle that has never actually connected with E-84. Critical fail. The bullet does not even exit the rifle. Something goes wrong and it starts sparking, and he immediately ejects the cartridge to try and figures out what's going on. And actually, he had a penalty to that from Atifa's attack, so he is scrambling.
I say in a fake stage whisper, I just say, "Carrots."
Some of his blood starts to drip down into the inner workings of the rifle as he's field stripping it, trying to fix it, and it's just a mess. Atifa, it is your turn. Things have finally turned around for team whatever your team is. It looked real bad. I thought for sure Bobobob was going to die in a laser mesh, but there has been some impressive use of mutations and technology and heroic acts all around. Can you do something to put another nail in the coffin of Team Hoop?
Right.
Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am, as ever, going to roll for my alpha mutation, and I will be stunned at the end of my turn.
I would take those 2 actions now and make them big.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think I'm aiming for Carlos, since he gives combat advantage.
Does Rocketbot also grant combat advantage E-84 when it's caught by you?
It's immobilized. I don't know if immobilization makes... I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either. But does that affect you? Do you want me to look that up before you make a decision, Atifa?
I think it makes more sense to hit Carlos anyway.
I mean, I could hit either of them.
Do Carlos. He's granting combat advantage.
He is in bad shape. Yeah, if Rocketbot B is granting combat advantage, I think I'd rather do that since Carlos... Well, at the end of my turn, Carlos is going to stop granting advantage and stop with the -2 penalty too if I don't hit him again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's not granting combat advantage because of my machine grip.
Immobilized, you can't move from your square, but you can teleport and can be forced to move by pull pushes or slides. But nothing
so
about
no
combat
advantage.
All right, well, I'm going to hit Carlos. I rolled 11, 19 versus Will.
No! Screams Carlos. How much damage do you do to him?
That's 11 damage.
Carlos collapses to the ground, kind of frothing at the mouth, as you defeat Carlos, the Hoop sharpshooter.
Carrots.
And you still have a standard action.
Yep, I'm going to aim at Rocketbot B. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that is a critical fail.
Oh.
And I am stunned until the end of my next turn, and I take it I'm done with my accelerated reflexes.
I think so.
All right. I loved you, accelerated reflexes.
Hey,
I will
that
mourn
was-
your loss.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Do you need to know what stun does?
Yes, I do, please.
You can't take actions. You grant combat advantage. You can't flank. So basically, you lose a turn.
So I never grant combat advantage because of my pacifying aura. So.
All right. But you'll lose a turn.
Okay.
Speaking of losing a turn, Micah, I apologize. You've been unconscious for quite some time, but you're alive, so that's something.
Exactly.
How you doing out there, buddy?
No further words at this time. I'm just focusing on recovering.
All right. Rocketbot B is still with us. Its programming seems desperate to try and carry out some last few actions. It cannot fire a rocket effectively when E-84 is attached to it, so one of its little servos... it has its own little clamping arm. It's going to reach out for you, E-84, and try and zap you with a little...
Ooh, I don't like being zapped.
Electro jolt. 16 versus reflex.
That does normally hit my reflex. Let me just make sure that this shield doesn't give me any bonuses.
It might take all the...
resist to damage, I think.
Well, you're probably going to be fine then.
Yeah, it's just a resist. So
You would take 10 electrical damage.
Okay, well, I have a resist 10.
All right. So nothing happens.
Nice.
But I have to roll to see if the effect ends.
Persists or not, yeah.
Nope, it does not. I rolled a 19.
Nice.
So my armor stays, it absorbs it.
All right. Whiting, can you end this?
All right, I'm going to run. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will bring me right up next to Rocketbot B.
Mm-hmm. And you're great at athletics or acrobatics, right?
Yes.
What's your modifier?
So I'm just going to be gracefully, like, at one point I do like a ballet twirl as I jump down.
It's easier when there's not a grid of lasers trying to kill you as you navigate the pit.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to do Slashing Claws. This is a 2-pronged attack.
Uh-oh.
Is that really good or really bad?
Are you alpha
And for
mutating?
whom?
I did this math earlier because I was thinking, how statistically likely is it to get 2 natural 20s?
Very unlikely.
And I found out it was 1 in 400.
Okay. Is that what just happened?
Damn.
All right, Whiting, we'll save you some math. You vault across the slope pit. You do some acrobatics check to stay on your feet. You do your little pirouette, and you scamper up the slope of the other side, closing in on Rocketbot B, who is firmly held in place by E84, and you just tear Rocketbot B into 4 equal slices, which clatter to the floor.
I'd like to do it while pirouetting, like have my claws out.
The pieces of former Rocketbot B clatter to the floor and slide down the pit to the middle of the room.
Please check Slack. I want you to know I'm not lying. This thing.
Wow.
All right. So you are out of combat. You can revive Bobobob, who amazingly survived. Bobobob, how close were you to true death?
I was 2 hit points from
like
true death.
So yeah, like you were on borrowed time. Yeah. So good job.
Something borrowed.
Neither borrower nor lender B. Remember that for next time.
All right. Well, it is. We're getting close to when we need to end so that people can go on to other podcasts. So I'm thinking we'll do kind of the homework to wrap this up, and then we'll confront the Iron King next time. How's that sound?
Sounds excellent.
I'm worried about losing my Omega Tech. I liked them, and I don't want them to go away, and I'm scared.
All right.
I just kept mine, so I'm pretty excited.
Let me.
Yeah, I didn't use any text, so I don't roll if I don't use it, right?
I believe
Right.
that's true.
Awesome.
You have
used
to
a
fight
lot.
Bob to get Teddy Ruxpin back, but
You could take it while I'm
pin me down.
unconscious.
All right.
that's true.
So you're. I'm just gonna make sure I give you guys experience points. So your hit points
Our
go
HP
up to
goes back
full.
up, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This encounter was worth 600 experience points. Oh, my computer is so sad.
I hear it.
Yeah,
I
it's
hear
like,
it, yeah.
how dare you open a spreadsheet?
All right. Let's see if my flash neurojack goes away. It doesn't. Yay.
Yeah.
Now let's see if my optic neurojack goes away. It doesn't. Yay.
Yay!
And now let's see if my energized armor goes away. It does.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
Me too. But honestly, I feel like the neurojacks were maybe a little bit more useful.
Do people have...
Oh wait, actually no, I never used the optic neurojack, so I shouldn't have rolled for that one anyway. But I did use the armor. So bye-bye.
I'm just making sure I do everything right. So unfortunately, there does not seem to be anything to scavenge from this room in terms of Omega technology.
Rats. Does Carlos have anything on his
He has
body?
partially disassembled sniper rifle that's pretty clogged with rabbit blood at this point.
I take a drink of actual rabbit
I was
blood from
gonna
his
say-
actual rabbit neck.
I regret this everything.
I mean, that was my plan before you mentioned blood, so...
Yeah.
Just slurp it right out of the cartridge, and
You are
make
up
it as new.
to 887 experience points each. At 1,000, you'll be level 3. So
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
And at level 3, you get a new utility power, which I think is more exciting than what you got at level 2. You just got that critical hit bonus. So at level 3, you'll get a new power. Okay, so people have resolved what omega techs are still functioning.
Yes.
People, your alpha mutations go away as your adrenaline levels die down. You're at full hit points. Do you want to move yourselves to the other side of the platform now, just so you've traversed this horrible laser mesh room? Mm-hmm. And I figure we'll have like a little cliffhanger, and we'll end so that Erica, you actually can take a sizable break before your next podcasting adventure.
Hooray!
How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right.
Make more coffee.
E84, you're able to navigate the. It's just a simple door terminal without any trouble, which reveals further hallways in the twisting Stupendico robot facility. But there's this area seems like it's actually kind of dirty, you know. Some areas of this Stupendico facility seem like kind of well maintained and polished and swept by robots, but it seems like perhaps some new creatures have taken up shop here and are a little less hygienic than the Stupendico robots. So the path of robot tread marks and filthy rabbit footprints leads to the south.
All right. I think we should look around and just make sure that there are no floor, panels or anything, or hatches in the ceiling. I'll check out the ceiling as well. Oh, there's a 3 on my perception check. Everything looks great.
Everything looks great.
I got... Oh, didn't do much better. Oh, no, that's okay. That's 15 on my perception check.
Things seem okay. The tracks that the hoops have left coming and going from this area seems like there's at least been a couple different rabbit-like creatures moving through this area.
I don't like I don't like that plural there. Hoops. More
well, we've
rabbits
seen
to fight.
2 for sure. We know about Carlos and the guy who yelled at him on camera.
Carlos and the guy who yelled.
It's a buddy cop.
It's my
movie.
favorite
It's a bunny
Bell Sebastian
cop movie.
album.
Oh, God.
Bunny cop. Ah.
I've seen that movie.
All right, so I assume the door to the south is closed.
It is closed.
Can we see? So is this hallway? Is that just like a dead end right there?
There's a little nook there with like a janitor mop.
Okay, so there's no door.
Nope.
I would like to go out this far. And what's to the north? Is there a door or anything, or is it just?
There's some utility tunnels there. It looks like there's a bunch of like computer equipment built into the walls there,
Gotcha.
and things like that. But it looks like the kind of main path for humans to proceed is to the south of you.
Okay. All right. Does this door have another terminal?
It sure does.
Same as... All right. Please get set. I will open the door. And then
All right.
once my friends are in place, I will open the door.
Thank you, E84. I will stand just behind you and try to protect anyone if anything happens.
Are you mocking her? Wait.
Of course not.
I don't know what E84's pronouns are.
E84 is genderless, so
Okay.
I guess because we have 2 theys in this party.
Are you mocking
Two
E84?
No, I'm not.
Oh, by the way, thanks for that life save. You look pretty great out there.
Oh, don't
By the
mention
way.
it. Just let me play with your dump truck sometime and we'll call it even, okay?
Very well.
That's a big ass.
Yeah, that's
big ass.
a Wookiee life debt situation
I have
there.
that fake grin on my face, like.
Sure hope I find a second crappier dump truck to give to this vampire cat.
Right.
If you don't, I'll drink all of your blood.
Oh, he's
Just kidding.
Or is he?
You sounded a little bit like Angus.
Hello, sirs.
Hello, sirs. I'll drink all of your blood because I'm a vampire now. Okay, yes, I think we're all in place.
All right, E84, you ready?
Beep boop.
Beep boop, indeed. Will that be E84's last words?
That's not me booping. That's the control panel.
Okay, sorry. Will that be the control panel's last words?
Yeah, better.
The door, Iris, is open to reveal a very unsettling chamber beyond. 30-foot high ceilings in a large factory room with many pieces of equipment and machinery, several vats of purple oozing liquid that are actually overflowing and spilling across the floor. Several robots patrol this area, including, but also between them is a hoop sharpshooter. And on the far side of this room, on a raised platform, is a rather grumpy and large-looking, menacing mutant rabbit who glares over in your direction. He's wearing a metal helmet, and as he glares at you, it seems as if, in time with his movements, a giant metal arm unfolds from the ceiling and reaches in your direction.
Oh my god!
Will our heroes survive in this final confrontation with the Iron King, or will they totally be dead and have to start the whole adventure over with new, cooler characters? We'll find out next time, or possibly the time after that, on Total Party Kill.
Bye.